Time for decider matchup, or decider match in this matchup between Hungary and Turkey, our first match of tonight in GLL's Nations Royale with Toby and me, G-Runner, bringing you all the action live from the studio in Stockholm.
Yeah.
We just saw it, Turkey, they took map number 2. Quick rotation, we talked about that before we went into our short break. So I guess we don't go there anywhere. We don't go there again because we all go into Sanok.
Yeah.
Not Erangel again, but a small, lovely island.
Yeah, and it's an interesting one because it's very different, and it's
Yeah.
going to force these teams that have now done the whole, because there was one field ending followed by one field ending. So open, tap at long ranges all game long here, not so much. You,
I mean,
yeah.
if they shoot the same range as they did in Erangel, then they basically shoot each other directly when they drop.
Yeah, most likely. That's yeah, that's kind of something like
not
that.
going to happen due to how it's built, but still. Bootcamp, obviously one of the, the side points of the map for most of our Sanhok matches. Obviously, we
Who
didn't
will
saw
go there?
as many Sanhok matches as we saw Erangel matchups.
True.
Or even the Kendi.
But it's because more precious to us.
I love Sanhok.
Yeah. At least for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
32 is 32 action on Sanhok.
It doesn't matter where it is when
We
it's
had
32 v
awesome-
32.
yeah, awesome.
It's gonna be good no matter what.
Well, we had amazing grenade gameplays at once. So
Yes.
we finished close to a huge stone setup. And they were trying to hide behind it, and then all of a sudden they realized that they were the last ones just right next to like blue, stone, that's it. And then everyone was just popping grenades like, yay!
That's not gonna help you a whole lot. And if you
Yeah.
don't know exactly what point in the game that was, go into the VODs and find it, because it's there. We just ain't gonna tell you which VOD or where. So that means you have to watch back all that stuff.
I was really wondering, it's like that was, I casted that matchup with Demon. That's one tip I can give you. So it was a week where Demon was.
And it was Sanhok.
And it was
That already limits the options by quite a margin, right?
But
So-
then once again, you need to find Sanhok in all the VODs.
yeah,
It's not easy.
no,
Need to scroll through all of them.
that is true. But nonetheless, that is a game in the past, and we are indeed going to be talking about a game that is in the future. Not too far from now.
Not
either.
in the distant future, though.
No,
That's
in the
what we
close-
hope for.
In the near future.
Yeah, I really hope that lobby is ready, because obviously we had a slight hiccup when we started, so I'm really
Yeah.
sorry for that. But we got everything under control once again. Flags are right, colors are right, teams are where they belong to.
Everything's right.
And that makes it a bit easier. Let's hope they learned from the previous 2 lobbies in terms of where they need to join in. Then this one should be quick.
It makes things a little easier when everyone's kind of on the same page in that regard.
Yes.
What I hope to see here, though, is that now we saw all the rotation skills that both these teams possess. I want to see a fight where none of that is going to be relevant and just full
So basically map
32
1.
on 32 going into one another. Because you cannot really pull off a map 1 on here. Because there aren't that open field that's going to separate the teams in the same way. No matter what happens, teams are going to be forced closer to each other because the line of sight, for the most part, is going to be smaller with all the trees, with all the foliage. You just don't get to sit at such a distance and tap at people, pretty much no matter where you go.
64 people drop in on this small island here. Sanhok plays host to our 3rd match and our decider. Seems like Turkey decided to go for the west side. And we
Yeah.
see Hungary taking control of the east. So that's Kampong, maybe Camp Bravo. I think Tetris and Unknown Memory, and Crippy, they all head over to Camp Bravo. Xong, though,
He's chilling.
AFK probably.
Oh, no.
Is
he's
that
just,
the
he's
AFK
just,
drop?
he's just jumping down there.
No, look, he's not moving.
Oh, no, he's just jumping down there. No worries.
He's not moving, man. I'm pretty sure that's an AFK drop.
Do you think they've agreed to say we go west, you go east? Because they've done it 3 games in a row now on specific, like on each map too. He's not AFK. He's
But
just
what-
chilling. He's pulling his parachute and everything.
He's now back. That's it. That's it. I think that Turkey's always waiting for Hungary to jump first.
Ah, so they say where do they go, and then we react to that.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, I guess they reacted smart because
That will be a super interesting circle. Oh dear.
Yeah.
I mean, right now even there's just 50% of that circle is actually Tehran.
Okay, what I want to see right now is they have so many players inside of bootcamp, right? They send those teammates all the way down along the shoreline, and you say, you guys ain't coming over to our island. They could do that. Just send them all, like 1 soldier per 100 meter, put them all down there on a line, and just start spraying at everything coming out from the forest.
I mean, this could be a tactic. I'm not sure if it will really pay off in the end, but with them having
Don't
control of
see.
those 2 small islands that basically make the circle right now, They could play their circle.
It's like when you play Risk and you're up against the guy that has Australia and you need it. It's like you ain't never going down there because he sends like all his soldiers to one area outside of Australia. It's like, how can? And then he has all of Australia with one soldier in each of it, and he can just sit there and laugh at you, right? You just put all your soldiers by the water, because once you're in the water, you can't shoot at anything, and just wait for them.
We'll see how that will be played out. Like I said, I think they should play the circle and the bridges.
Full
Because
river
right now they
control.
got, so they're 1, 2, that's 3 on the lower side, 1 bridge on the upper side. They could control that, definitely.
Full river control is the play to make
oh,
it.
GLL Production had a little party here at the beach. They
Wh-
brought the newest technology as well. Technical difficulties. Yeah, please
They should screenshot that, and
Yeah,
then they can clip
for
it every
next time.
time. For every time, like whenever stuff goes sideways, then they can always just clip that in.
Stuff goes sideways.
You've never had that happen? When things just go sideways?
I never heard that saying.
Nope.
I mean, cars go sideways, yeah, drifting. But I never heard stuff goes sideways.
That's because I didn't want to swear.
Ah.
Other things can go sideways too, you know.
Okay, if you
Yeah.
say so.
If you insist, yeah.
If you say- yeah,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm fine.
Crabs go sideways.
It's actually a fact, yes.
Yeah.
Crabs go sideways.
Crabs go sideways.
Great that we learned that here. So we got history, a bit of biology,
What is
a bit
next?
of religion.
Yeah.
We got everything here.
Have we talked religion today?
We probably should stay away from
Yep,
that.
that's what I was thinking too. That was my thought exactly.
Drop supply drop here. Let's see. That should land on the Turkish side, if I see that correctly. Yep, close to MFS. 1905. He can probably get that while running back to his friends.
Yeah. That is a it's not. I mean, it's landing right by them, so they sure should be able to get it. They're landing on the island where there are no opponents. So if
Look
they
at these
don't get it,
trees.
then it's kind of their own fault, I think.
I love the trees from above. Yes, I'm wondering how quick
There's a
they-
leak.
I saw a small group of Hungarians down there by Camp Charlie early, so they have to been there
Yeah.
from the start. I'm just not so sure if there were that many.
There's a leak. There's a leak, Turkey, and well, it ain't seem like you're plumbing it right now. That's for sure.
I'm not sure if that might be a smarter move, because if they set it up to only do the northern bridges and that one bridge on the bigger island,
yeah.
because then they don't need to spread that thin, and they even create multiple angles. Look at that. So they got the
Yeah.
guys from boot camp. They could set someone up at the bridge, and then they got set up someone in the compound where they are right now, where there's Murd and Iro, you know, where they're all there. So they got a slightly bigger front line in case all of Hungary comes down in. And they do not even care then which bridge Hungary takes,
I mean, right
as long
now-
as they run in there.
Right now, it seems like they're kind of split into two teams, right? Hungary, at least. They have the northern
Yeah.
sort of area, and then you have the
Everything
southern.
northern of Crary and everyone
Yeah.
southern of
And
Crary.
then you have Ravens like, oh, well, was I supposed to be down here, guys? Wait for me, wait for me. But everyone else is up north, and well, I mean, if the circle goes north, they can try and push over there. But if it goes down south, then we're at a point at which Hungary is technically in as good a spot as Turkey, because Turkey never really did anything to take control of the circle, like back to square one in game one.
Yeah, I think they all rotate down south now because they obviously know from their friends and
Yeah.
their teammates that it's open there and
That
that,
it's
they can
safe.
that they can go over that bridge.
Mhm.
So that might help. Like I said, I'm just not sure if that is because Turkey doesn't want to spread that thin, or really no one actually watched it and thought
Yeah.
about it.
Also, in all fairness, Turkey doesn't know they're there, because
Yeah,
clearly
sure,
nobody.
sure.
I don't even think we've heard a single or seen a single shot fired yet. So clearly, Turkey doesn't get a lot of info off of them not being spread very far apart. They are in a position in which they can help each other, sure, but they do not really. They do not really dare splitting out that much here, which I guess makes sense. It is Sandhog after all. You want to be somewhat close to your teammates, help out one another as well. So. So they're playing it more passive, waiting for the engagement and then taking it at that.
I think Turkey just wants to make sure that they don't spread that much. Look at that. They now bring in all their
Yeah.
forces in. They left boot camp alone, which is probably not worth anything anymore anyway, because the next circle will probably not be there. So
Yeah.
it's just I'm just not sure if they might overdo it in the end and then
I'm
put
just
everyone
thinking,
in the
I mean,
same spot.
It wouldn't be the biggest loss if they just sent 3 people down there for one of the bridges, right? Imagine
check.
the amount of people they could take down with just the effort of 3 people.
Or at least having one tractor. Obviously not talking about the tractor
I was
vehicle,
saying,
talking
but
about
yeah,
the tractor
from
player
yesterday,
from yesterday
yeah.
that was hiding.
Have one hold the
and,
ankle. Yeah,
and
exactly.
spotted basically every single enemy player without anyone spotting him nor killing
That
him.
was pretty impressive. And once again, if you do not know what we're talking about, go back to yesterday's games, because that was very interesting. He was pretty much proning inside the entire enemy army, and nobody saw him, and they all went by him, and he was like, oh my god, oh my god.
Hyperventilating at that point.
That was pretty impressive.
So Amit, the only one that's still up north, seems like they try to cross that small water place there to get onto one island.
Can we say now that the way, I mean, if this circle was to hard shift in one direction, the side that gets the hard shift, not necessarily, but might just be the ones winning? Because right now I would say that, well, I mean, Turkey clearly has the bigger percentage, right? Being further down south than the other guys.
If the hard if the hard shift really helps, depends on once again if the other team is willing to commit to a full push.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen both teams do it and both teams not do it, so...
the team that was pushing always won so far.
Yeah, exactly, on this matchup. Exactly.
So it seems like both teams
the daring
sell
team.
on that, yeah.
Oh, and also the daring car.
Yeah, all four.
And that's the only team that is on the wrong side. The only squadron that is currently sitting out in the blue, but also on the wrong island, at least for now. It could hard shift like a billion times east and then go back there, but of course, unlikely that should happen.
That is true. It's a bit risky set up right now. We see that here. Once again, the beautiful overview. It's obviously, this is way more worth in a 32 versus 32, like the Nations Royale, than it is in squads, because it actually tells you a lot about what could happen.
It tells you everything. You don't only get to see the map, you also get to see the curvature of the terrain and the density. Do we have a lot of trees? Is it in the open? How are things looking? At least for right now, with these guys being split all over the place in crates, not being dropped, because that one seems to be like an air-to-water missile. Doesn't really work that way.
I was wondering if there is air-to-water missiles.
There is now. We just saw it. We just saw it happen.
Air-to-water torpedoes.
Oh, but this is
air-to-air missiles, air-to-ground missiles.
The reason you don't see them that often is because they clearly aren't very effective. They just go like bloop when they hit the water, and then the armies realize how big of a waste of money it is.
Air-to-water missiles.
That is the thing now.
All right. We just created.
You don't have to question it; just accept it, because that's clearly a thing.
I do.
Yep. Circle centered though.
Yeah, that will be look at that. We just missed it. It's a full face-off, basically.
Yep.
One team now has to decide if they want to push or if they want to stay. And so far, the team that was willing to push, we said that, was the team winning.
Yeah. So Hungary, they have taken this building, and you could see right before there as well where Mert is sitting, there is a lot of open terrain around it. And for Turkey, well, they can just chill up in the forest and shoot down towards them, but it's going to be up to Hungary to really allow them to get the angles on them, right? Because it's going to be also for Hungary, what are the guys that aren't in the compound going to do? Are they just going to sit behind them and try and shoot, or are they going to try and maybe flank around and figure some sort of way to help out their teammates?
First drop is once again a car of a teammate. That seems to be a thing in this matchup for every single map.
Certain patterns are being...
definitely. Look at that. So they try and spread among that line there, down to Nakam, to create a front line with different angles. But it seems, like to me right now, the Turkish setup seems to be a bit better.
Yeah.
But since we're in Sanhok, it's very individual in terms of positioning, and because there's so many different small hills and trees. It's hard to just predict it from just seeing the front line.
And with so much cover, if you exclude vehicles because they make a lot of sound, this is also the map to flank on. Because it's so much easier to hide it because you have so many trees, so much foliage, right? So if you send just like we saw in the Denmark-Sweden game on a wrangle, actually, that when they push down towards apps, what a difference just 5 people coming from behind can do. I mean, that completely obscured their entire sort of control of the area, that their high ground team got completely annihilated by those guys flanking around, right? So if you see something similar here, could be the difference maker. But for right now, once again, these very, 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 very stacked crates. Halloween, for now at least, only picked up by 2 people. They could send some more people back, but as you can see, everyone from Turkey has gone to the front lines.
A lot of shots, but not a single kill yet. Well, I'll say that once again it happens. Shun at least gets downed by Slippy Zerk. The AWM that we saw, that could also be a game changer. Just like the rotation, but currently it's stalled, basically.
Yeah,
both teams waiting.
We have one guy making it over. It's Ravens, and he's sitting on the far east side by himself. And I'm wondering whether he's daring to push even further.
If he waits long enough until everyone is shooting anyway and they're kind of confused because they need to go, he might have a good shot there.
He could. He very much could. I mean, look at where he is. He can flank around the entire side by himself. But Hute and And Stonk, you can see they're kind of anticipating. BSD is even looking north now to figure.
Yeah, I was wondering about Stonk.
We don't see enough of those players right now. There must be more coming from somewhere.
Obviously, they counted all of them.
And it makes sense. Well, you don't. No, everyone. That's how it works.
Like, can you please raise your arm? 1, 2. Yeah, he's still going for it. Esma Gas is taking shots. I think that's a bit too early. I think he should have waited a bit for his main force to start fighting. But I guess he did because once again the circle shifted.
It did shift out west and sure as hell went in Turkey's favor. But now they have to utilize it. We've seen Hungary make those aggressive pushes and they made it work in game number 1, even when it seemed like they were in position they would lose. They dared and they pushed on forward to it. But this push up the hill, you can see already now, they have to go down the hill first into a very open compound and then uphill on the other side with water in play too. It's going to be a hard run for them, that's for sure.
VSS action on CTR's Cayenne. Now switching obviously to the, that's the M4, right?
Mm-hmm.
The M416. And takes some shots of Hellcat in his flights. Bly plays. Man, he's the first. He's the first to fall. Get flushed here. 31 now on the side of Hungary against 32 on Turkey, but that's just a small margin right now. Not really an advantage.
So Turkey is splitting out now. I like to see it, taking control. But we talked about it as well in the previous game, how they get also these knocks, but they don't dare to really push them out on it. That's what worked really, really well for the Hungarian team, right? Get the knocks, get them down, and then continue to move forward. Iroh, great headshot coming in there.
Yeah, but full move, and he still got him there. But I think Benz, he will walk around the fence there and flank them. Saw that on the map earlier. He might be in a good position, but Iroh also in a great way. Yeah, there's Benz. So he moved around, but he's actually in trouble as soon as Lipson sees him, but he doesn't.
No, he's hidden for now.
Yeah.
Question is going to be, when do you want to reveal your position? Like, what is it going to take for you to stand up and start shooting, right? Because so far, he hasn't really seen, and his entire team, I mean, they're all kind of making their way on up, and now they have been realized. Benz gets quick knocks coming in, though. 2 of them make that, and does go down. Not completely, just a little bit of damage coming his way.
Yeah, he did good there. I mean, 2 knocks. Obviously, Hellcat fell, but they now they try to move out there. Now they try to do something on that ridge line. They really move, and I think they kind of surprised the Turkish army. And look at that. There's so many all of a sudden that sneaked around the place there.
That is the angle that could be the difference maker here. Had they had just one guy, because look at the small plateau, it's maybe 10 meters wide, the gap that he had to make that push on, and he allowed not only to get up there, but also to tell his entire team, this is free, I just got in here, there's no one looking, come right now. And well, look at the amount of teammates that have just made that push on up, and they're all on the run on that east or western side.
Yeah, they got
now.
Lapson. They take that off Mockingjay's hands now. That compound, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, they can be shot from the next compound, but still, that is a small win here for the Hungarian team.
Thing. I mean, they had nothing to play from. Look at the position they were in with the downhill push and the uphill on the other side. Benz pretty much just, well, made that entire push for his team and continuously going forward, even though he was behind enemy lines. New circle, though, once again, despite the fact that Benz did everything he could. The Turks knew it all along and said, well, we ain't really going for that area anyway.
Boris Meister, he's all alone.
He got the circle.
In that small compound.
Yep,
he might face the whole Turkish army soon.
Yeah, that's not going to be optimal.
Is he trying to hide somewhere else? Or is he just running away?
He's now been spotted too, so it's not really going to make things any easier. He can chill around here for a little while, but for the well, yeah, for the Hungarian team, they did something impressive, and now they will have to repeat it should they want to get inside the next circle too.
Circle locks so far seem to be on the Turkish side, but that push showed that Hungary can definitely make something happen, even if the circle is not in their favor.
For sure.
Question is how much they can do, and it seems like they totally overlooked Mert. Mert wasn't ready for that. Nope, not at all.
Wow, aim raise. That's a good reaction play right there.
No, aim raise was actually without a weapon. There's still teammates laying next to him, right?
Yeah, Polaroid.
Is he really just fighting there? Oh, wow. Wait for him to come up. Yeah, there he got spot.
Realizes there were a little more than 2 people on that side of things.
Yeah, someone moved down the hill already.
Exactly.
So aim raise and Sabis, they were waiting on the other side. Once again, Hungary's on the move, and they're doing good. They're doing good when they move
trying to maneuver all the way around the side. They have the ridge to work with. They will have to cross that road eventually, though. And that's when Turkey has to be ready and sit there and shut them down. Because right now, they can keep them at bay. But we saw what happened before when they allow for, like, if there's just one angle that ain't held by anyone, it's going to allow for all these players to move around. Because Turkey, as opposed to Hungary, Hungary is really playing as a unit right now.
Yeah, which obviously also means that there's one direction. There's only one direction they're coming from, not one direction band. So it makes it a bit easier for Turkey to decide where to shoot at.
Yeah.
But due to them moving that quickly, rotating that quickly, they're changing positions quite often.
And they kind of have to, right? Because they cannot let themselves be stale targets. I mean, if they all get pinned down behind X amount of trees on the ridge.
Oh, MVS not connecting the shots there.
Calendar did. That was just a nade, and it hit his teammate.
Oh, yeah. One door is down. Fanabush also. Oh, they've been taken apart there on that side of the compound.
And that allowed them to cross.
Once again,
that allowed
Hungary.
them to cross. And they actually have the upper numbers now.
Down to 18 on the Turkish side once again because Hungary decided to just commit to it, run into it, and then see what happens. Rita, she found Supra. It's another kill. Sabis also falls. So that's Turkey.
And Boris
finally
is still in the
back.
compound.
Is he?
Yeah, still
really?
in the compound. He's holding the angle.
Hanging
He's
out there.
defending his teammates, that's for sure. MFS all by himself far down south.
Krippy and
He is
MFS,
down
they're
there.
still facing each other. MFS, who wasn't able to connect any shots from above on the immediate threat, but on the distance, it works a bit better for him.
He actually has a ton of vision, and Krippy is inside the house underneath him. MFS obviously knows this, and his teammate unseen not only on the Turkish team, but also on a daily basis. I love their team. Their team name is Kebabs, and they're from Turkey, so that's just amazing. And I think their in-game leader's name is Shees, so Shees Kebab.
Oh, now I get really hungry.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think we need to order kebab. Hungary, down to 19. Turkey, I'll just pick it up here. Turkey, 17. Extasio, he falls to Smash Bay. And it seems like Hungary is just better on the move, even against a static Turkey. Oh, Krippy coming around, he might get two, but MFS finishes him off, at least knocks him, not finished yet. But he's bleeding out, and they'd probably be able to either pick him or just let him die there because he's outside the circle, right?
No risk coming in. Him and Boris are the only two guys that aren't really with their teammates. And honestly, even though we say, you're sure, Boris is all alone and 10,000 days does know where he is, he could do damage. But right now, it's Raven's got himself 2 knocks, but not enough ammo in this weapon to keep on going. Would go down and return there in Tetris as to now start sort of doing something here as well. Because look, once again, at the split that Turkey has on these guys. 14-14, they've made a comeback.
Yeah, it's still a tie in a tight series. I mean, that is the decider matchup. And then seeing this going down the last few men of the army and so close. 13-13, Dox falls. Rita gets knocked by the Hungarian squad. 13-13, so hopefully someone picks her up, brings her back in. Another one from Raven actually falls to Unseen, who moved around there. He's outside the circle, trying to flag from the back, basically.
I mean, right now, it's actually pretty impressive, because Turkey maybe not allowed them to cross, but with them crossing, they're like, sure, just contain them in there now. They're even going over on the west side, trying to take control. MFS is kind of making his way over in that direction, right? So do not allow them to go anywhere from here.
Yeah, Hungary's pretty trapped now, right? I mean, they're trapped in that one compound.
Exactly.
While the Turkish side has players in every direction besides Boris Meister.
They do have Boris. They do have
Wait
Boris.
until Boris Meister will be the last, and then he rips everyone apart.
Or they have to look for him for 15 minutes, and he's just hiding in the bush, like screen time, screen time, screen time.
Maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to wait.
Silvers gets killed as well. Down to 12-12. They really want to make sure that this is tied as long as possible.
Yeah.
Wow, Hellcat. No kill for him so far. In his squad, there had been 2 by Benz. That was the flank we saw. The early rotation of the whole, it was a flank first. It turned into a whole rotation of Hungary. Tetris gets knocked by Xong. There might be a grenade that could finish the job, but nope. Grenade's not even getting in there. Not in the strike zone.
Boris, once again, making the run on up. And again, with him, if he takes down Shaxi, if he takes down anyone here, they don't know that it's only one guy, and they will force them to also look the other way. And that could be the sort of the relief of pressure that that Hungary will need to be allowed to make the push out from this compound.
Boris Meister gets involved.
He is shooting. Now look how many people are turning around. Look at how many turn around. They're all looking for him. Go, guys. Turkey, you only have 4 people holding you. Yet they just sent 5 guys over to deal with Boris. This is the break they need.
They don't know.
They have to go. He even got the circle, too. They need to make the runoff now.
Boris Meister is alone. Smash Bay
He's doing everything he could. He just did everything he could to allow them to leave the compound.
I mean, they did now. It took them a while to react. Obviously, they were looking for where they need to pick up kills. Song was down. Trez on the other side. That's the clear trade. Also, Sicario falls 5,000 days. Gets knocked as well there. Knocks all over the place now. Still though, 10 to 10. So nothing changed in terms of overall setup. Down to 9 now as Vasago falls on the Turkish side.
Gotta say,
Someone has to be the highlight player now. Someone has to take this match and win it.
I mean, it's 8v8. It's a double squad fight coming into the very, very vast thing of end of things. I guess you can say Ravens double kill coming in there. So 5 against 7. Now it's really down to the wire.
Look at that. Marco on 4, you might be able to pick up a 5th. There are 2 right on the street. Unseen up the hill, gets another one. So that's the win, actually.
7
for
kills.
Turkey, and it's Code Marco. I told you, they need to be that one player in the end that takes the match into his own hands, finishes off people. Obviously, 2 of these kills have been knocked down players. It's not like they could do much against him. But still, 7 kills for him. That's the strongest. Jonas on the other side, though, he managed 6 kills for the Hungarian side. But that was as close as it could possibly be until the very end of this match.
I gotta say, had Boris probably had more communication in baiting people out, because he obviously went from, there's one guy shooting at me too, there are 10 people shooting at me. Have they known that? I mean, he could have been the MVP for his team right there.
True that. I think they lost a chance for a surprise push at that moment. When Boris Meister shot, they should have just gone all in.
They could have left the compound off of it, right?
Yeah.
He could have been what allowed them to leave, because as soon as he was spotted, you saw immediate 5, 6, 7 people turn around to go for him.
That was the flank that turned into rotation that brought Hungary back into such a compound and actually managed for them to get a tie and get into this matchup in the later circles.
Yeah, Ben's did a really smart push-up alongside the shoreline right there, that's for sure.
Yeah, but in the end, it was Turkey obviously coming out on top, so I think it was down to who's quicker on the trigger. Like trigger happy, trigger finger.
Yeah.
Because that was a close one. Like, we see like the 2 ones that Marco picked up, and he turned around again. Emrace immediately picks up another 2 that running down the street. I think he was basically shooting at all the players that were still alive.
Yeah, out of the 6 last remaining players, I think he
8
killed
at
5
that
of them.
when he went up.
Yeah, but out of the 6 remaining ones, he killed 5. So,
Go on for
them.
Marco. He eliminated nearly single-handedly Hungary out of the tournament. Nations Royale GLL has to say goodbye to Hungary. Unfortunately, we're sorry, but thanks for playing, guys. Turkey is in the next round, and that brings us to our next matchup, which is Great Britain against France. Another big rivalry right after the break. Viva la France or tea time. That's what we're doing up next. Second matchup of tonight. It's Great Britain, England versus France, the next big rivalry here in GLL Nations Royale.
Pop quiz. When did this rivalry start? You say, I don't know. Please tell me, Toby.
Oh, wise Toby, please tell me.
I will tell you without looking at any notes at all. It all began in the year 1066 when the then French ruler decided to go over to Sussex and say, hello, England, looks funny. But then he was under a lot of attack and then he kind of just went back home. Have you ever seen
And then
that?
I mean, it says that here.
Yeah. Have you seen have you seen that new because it's kind of depicted, but in the wrong way. But have you seen that the newest Robin Hood movie with I believe? Now I'm saying Mel Gibson, but I don't think it's him who's in it. Who's in it?
I was like,
no, Russell Crowe.
The newest
guy, right?
Robin Hood movie with Mel Gibson.
No,
like,
Russell.
I
think it's Russell Crowe in it. I don't know, but that's also where like the Frenchmen come over because they're being held by the tall guy who is a spy thingy. It's that's kind of depicting what happened.
So who's the tall guy?
He's the British guy.
Never mind. Have a look at the lineup of the United Kingdom.
Well, that went wrong.
Versus France. Yeah, that was not really great as an intro.
I spent so long.
And I heard already, so there's one killer squad, basically, on the United Kingdom side with obviously Maverick live. Then in his group, there's also Smithy playing, I think. Zixi, number 28.
Yeah.
And who else was in his group? T-Bone, I think.
Yeah.
And Fake.
I mean, I can tell you right off the bat, there are a lot of very, very, very talented players on both sides here. Players that I see on a pretty much daily basis in the competitive scene. And not to take anything away from other games we have, because all the teams have player representation from that aspect of things. But here it's a high amount on both teams. I mean, both England and France are very well represented in the PUBG competitive scene.
Yeah.
So while before we might have seen some more let's all do this together here, this might be one of those scenarios where they've on purpose, you talked about a killing team, have dealt it down to smaller groups because they know on a daily basis some of these guys, they play together, right?
Yeah.
Put them together, let them do their thing because they work as a unit already. Why take that away from them?
I mean, that could work. We know that.
Yeah,
Quicker rotations on smaller groups, obviously better communication. And once again, as you can see on the overlay, we're starting with double Erangel before going over to Sunhawk.
No
so it is the same setup as we just saw in the first matchup.
I have one request though, because it's always been about the English Canal, right? So if the game goes anywhere, I think it could only be fair that France drops military with all of their players and then have to cross over. Because geography, you know?
Because geography. Yes. Why do we run that tactic? Because geography.
Because geography. I mean,
that's how it is. So we talk about the...
that would be fair. The British Canal, like, and everything in the middle there, right?
Just the thing in the middle. The channel tunnel that goes through it and stuff like that.
The pond kind of goes... Yeah,
you can go by train. You know that, right?
Oh, yeah. But we only have bridges here, so unfortunately that's not the case.
Yeah, there's no tunnel with a train that picks up cars and brings you onto the other side.
Correct.
There's no work in PUBG, but it doesn't work in real life.
Not yet.
By the way, that's another fun fact. You know, nowadays where there's so many countries that are building huge buildings and they kind of mess it up and they never finish them.
Sometimes
happens a lot in Germany lately. But when they built this channel tunnel between England and France, I think they only missed each other. And back then, keep in mind there was no GPS around.
Oh, they they started on each side and they kind of did
that. Oh no, not even straight. Because the channel tunnel is like it has corners.
It can't just go straight on.
Yes, it doesn't work. So they started with 2 of those digging machines from both sides, like from France, from England, and just run straight down there. And they only missed each other, like the middle of the tunnel, by 1.2 meters?
Impressive.
Something like that. And then you're like, wow, so nowadays with all the technology, we can't even finish a single building. But back in the days, because that channel tunnel is actually a bit old. It's not like built in the 90s or something like that.
Yeah.
It's older than that. They did all of that without the help of Google Maps. And they still managed to find the right country.
That is impressive. I mean,
not like Columbus.
It's not like there weren't a lot of countries north of France that they could really go to.
It's like...
We're in Scotland. How do we skip England?
It's like just around France, and it's like Luxembourg. That looks similar. We're okay with that.
Yeah, where did the canal go? I don't know.
Italy.
But,
Coming up, and people are like, oh, that's my garden. So what?
Not offending any Italians at all while we're doing this in any way at all.
Are they playing? Did they see the Italian team?
I mean, I'm calling out. There might be some Italians watching this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wait. I've got Italian friends. So I'm safe. The guy that's currently working on my car is Italian, so hopefully he wasn't watching.
Of course, then yeah.
Yeah, because they're building cool cars.
They
so
do.
I obviously had to get an Italian working.
That is something they're very good at.
Yeah, makes sense, right?
But in any case, France.
Yeah, let's not offend
England,
anyone.
Yeah,
let's
just swoop that away. France and England. And now we've talked rivalries, and we talk the baguette versus the tea, and we talk about the Tower of London versus the Eiffel Tower, and yeah, but
that was not bad.
I'm really trying here. Can you feel it? What can you bring to that? Something against something from the other country. Go.
Play Apex over at GLL.
Hey!
Because there's a new tournament. Sign up just open. It also just popped up on Twitter, so follow. Is that a link? Yep.
Yes.
It just says more info. But sign up is open for the first GLL Apex tournament, so make sure that you also check out that and maybe get involved there. Get some golden armor, golden loot, digital threat, and then go for the kills.
Why wouldn't
it's
you?
It's a killathon.
It is. For those of you guys who are sitting here watching and thinking, where are all the kills? Sign up to Apex. And when you...
do you want to say there are no kills in PUBG?
I was going to build it up to the end point. And then when you've killed some people, come back, and then that's when they start killing each other in PUBG. You know? So you get the best of both worlds.
You just didn't send our viewers playing like Apex right now, so they're back for the action. Did you?
You completely misunderstood the point I was trying to make here, Renee.
Production, I really want to talk about my co-caster here. He just sends people off the stream.
No,
not okay with that.
Misunderstandings.
Banned. I just heard that. Yeah. Did you ever did it as a host, like saying something wrong when crossing?
You should start watching something else right now.
Yeah. Wait. I did two of them. I wanted to say, we had it into a break, and I wanted to say, stay with us. And then in the middle of the sentence, I went for don't go anywhere. So it ended up with don't stay with us.
Huh.
And production was like, can you let us know why you just told people to not stay with us?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so sorry. And then I want to say, don't touch your browser. People say in the chat though that they heard don't touch your brother. Which is also, I think, a good advice.
Inappropriate,
yeah. So I guess you're still safe with what you just said because it happens to all of us. Unless you really only do like one show in your life, then you might be lucky and you never did a mistake like that. But if you do some more, then at one point, mistakes will just catch up to you.
In any case, the game has started, and we're now completely forgotten about what we talked about.
Are we not forgotten about that big rivalry? France versus England.
No, I mean, we forgot about the whole talk we just had with mistakes being made. Because,
that does make sense now, Toby.
Exactly.
Great. Oh, God. Sometimes I'm just like, what?
What?
Never mind. Both teams decided that east of Erringel is where it's the nicest. So they're all heading out to farm, Milta, and it seems like Yasnaya is under control of Red.
It seems
Red.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh no, 60. So blue is the UK.
Right.
Yep. And France is obviously on red for today.
So as agreed, as we saw the other guys be on who went where previously in the last game, these guys, they seem like they aren't as they don't agree as much on who should go where, because they clearly are kind of going for the same spots. And it's not something we see too often. I mean, they're sure that the Danish and the Swedish kind of overlapped a little bit, but it wasn't really to more of an extent than one or two players. Here it seems like they're just, pretty much mixing things up like crazy people.
That is true. Will be interesting if we actually see some early skirmishes instead of having that long build-up phase that we sometimes have. So that might be something to look for right now. Orcas and Nusra, they're pretty close to Flappy. Look at that. Flappy's also going down there.
Yeah, and it's a military circle. Now I get to see it.
Yes!
Huh, I told you, friends. Go military. I told you. They should have done that from the beginning. Flappy, though, saying, hey, buddy, have you heard of vehicles? They heard. And
oh, no way!
He somehow ran him over through the fence.
And I was just saying, it's like, what if that plank is just giving up and he's killing his teammate? And he does.
He ran him over.
If he also gets killed now by
the
UK, that will be hilarious.
That is something I've never seen before.
Get
I guess he was close enough to the fence that the friction of the vehicle hitting it kind of bumped him in the head and said, ugh.
And obviously, the moved air around that vehicle.
Oh, there was a big, full-on air push towards him that was very deadly.
Yes, that air push was basically ripping his head off.
Big air push. That's the thing.
Sub-selective took some shots already. So UK down to 29.
And they were already one player down early. They only connected with 30. So
yeah, true that.
They do have the base, though.
Yeah, at least they got military base, and they might build a full bridge
They have
setup.
to. On each bridge and on the water in between. Have a guy everywhere. And also, they're only on the south. Sure, you have the beach down there. But other than that, if you go to the cliffs, there are only X amount. And I say X because, sure, it's more than what you can cover with 4 people. But when you have 32 of them available, go down there, take full control, and do not allow for anyone. Maybe even sink the boats. Sink the ships from the south. And then just say, you ain't getting... Sure, there are more, on the edges, east and west. But then you know where they're going to be coming in from, right?
I was just wondering, that D. Lee, is that Demon? Demon, it's Lee is his first name, right?
Yeah.
So do you think he got this second account, and that's why he's not here? He's playing
That's
for the
why
United
he's
Kingdom.
not here. He just wanted to play.
Representing his country.
We did have Avenger play for Denmark, so why shouldn't Demon be allowed to play?
There we go. Oh, Scrum, that will be an early one, and that is obviously hell hit. Taking the hell hit, taking the hell out of him, and getting killed. So we actually really get those early skirmishes. Very interesting.
We also get red zones. You guys might want to get inside.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
I was just like, what? Because I saw that building was being red, but no, the whole map.
Yeah,
is
the whole
red.
map is very red around them. So please, for the sake of yourself, Tala, and everyone around there, please do go inside. Just
height,
safety precaution
somewhere. Yeah. Put your seat in an upright position. Fold your tables away. Open the window blinds.
Oh, open the window. No,
No, don't open the window. Only the sub-selective is like, where's that chat? There we go. Quick loot. Just imagine he would have done that loot and immediately that would be the first explosion right on that table.
That would have been unfortunate.
Wow, that would have been a highlight.
Bubbles as well, get inside.
Hey, we're in for a really good start already. So we
are.
had that awkward team kill.
Yeah, bike stunt there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a team kill. It was a French killing in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why it was so funny. He drove off afterwards. It was a French player that killed him.
Didn't even see that.
No, that's what happened.
I just saw the kill. No! They're taken down
They're
by
all
the red
dying!
zone.
What?
Oh, Roxy's
Stay
Telecan fell.
inside!
Lee is knocked.
Scoom is like, guys, what?
Yeah.
Guys?
Why did they went there? For whatever reason did they move out of that building?
And why, if they do, would they run on top of one another? It's as if they were asking for it.
Oh,
That-
they challenged the gods of the red zones and got replied.
Guys,
Wow.
that is...
This is probably the funniest start of a Nations Royale match so
they had
far.
4 people knocked and 1 additional finished off by that right there.
Wow.
That's,
All right.
That's, I guess that's what they get for having all the military to themselves. A little bit of a handicap has to come in, right?
All right, if you say so.
Yeah, that's only fair. But it all does allow for the Western team to, or the Northern team, I guess you could say, in France, to make their way on over towards the Western side. But, well, it seems like if they do have plans of crossing the bridge, there are a few players waiting for them, some might argue.
Yeah, obviously, with the drop on Military Island, UK will do everything right now to make sure that France can't even get onto that island.
Yeah.
I mean, if they push with enough people, it's still possible. We know that.
I just can't see where they can go without getting spotted. Because if you send one guy, you can see, look at the south. Dix is down there, Fex is down there, Crispy is west. There's no point at which France can get to the military where these radars that they've pretty much sent out in each corner, or like the lighthouses, won't spot them before they get there. I mean, that's pretty much the case, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they got a good setup there. I mean, they're making sure that they're aware of everything that happens on their small island, basically like in real life. I mean, they know how to do that, right?
Oh, so it actually is geographically correct, this one. It's just upside down.
Yes.
Because England is smaller than Europe.
Yeah. Basically, we're just looking from a different side.
We're just watching it from the north down south.
We're a plane coming from north.
Yep. Makes sense.
So north is now...
Makes sense. So Fex is in Scotland. That's what we're saying, because he's the furthest north. Yeah, makes sense.
There was another one being knocked. I don't know why.
Happens.
By a car, probably.
They could do full blockade, take all the cars and block off the bridge so they can't get across.
That is probably this will probably be the biggest slaughter that we'll ever see. Like this bridge crossing that's coming up, if they really commit to it. Oh, Flappy taking chances here.
This is not
through
good.
the red zone. We
Yes.
just saw someone else being even killed by the red zone.
Yes, living a ballsy life, but did manage to get through it. So fortunate. His honking scared away all the artillery fire, and well, he
Once again moving air due to the honks,
exactly
which is sound waves.
Yep.
Moved away the artillery dropping there.
Okay, so seems like the plan for the Frenchmen currently is ferry pier. They go down there saying, let's go, let's find some boats. Fake and Crispier clearly has seen them, so that's not going to go surprisingly. What they might want to do, though, is just like we saw Boris do, go down to some area, sort of attract the attention, only by 3-4 people, but if you spot enough boats, that could be like, oh, they're coming from here. And then in the meantime, you do a sneakaroo from the east around. What do you think it would take for the British team to rotate all their players from the east towards the west? Like, how many people would they need to see in order for all of them to move?
They will not.
They won't.
I think they're not falling for it.
They shan't. They will not go anywhere. Okay, that's well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if that's gonna be true or not. But also, I guess we can tell right now that the winner of this team gets to play Turkey that won the previous one. If I'm not incorrect, I'm pretty sure that's the case. New circle now will pop as Gulag Marshal is all by himself, trying to make the best of a horrible situation. US, fortunate downhill, gets himself some more speed, but driving inside that red zone, that ain't never funny.
Yeah, but the end is near of that red zone. I guess he makes it.
You say that now.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I jinxed it
Don't
again.
jinx it. He made it.
Turns into blue immediately, you saw that?
In before random explosion.
Yeah.
Oh my!
was
Look,
waiting for- oh, no,
they're crossing and getting red zone.
Whoa.
Somebody really doesn't want France to win.
PUBG gods want France to have the toughest challenge.
Wow.
Red zones and bridges to take to get over to military
The
islands.
British artillery is on point. Worst thing here being, you can only fit so many vehicles into that glass house. If half of them explode, they won't. Look at how many vehicles are parked outside. If one explosion comes in, that's going to damage the other vehicles too. They will be at such a disadvantage, even more so than what they already are trying to cross here.
So Kanai is still near the bridge. I mean, nothing dropped so far.
Yeah, in before.
Is he really trying to just walk over?
Just make
YOLO it. Oh, beautiful shot. Look at that. 3 big explosion in that one lonely French soldier is trying to immigrate.
The blockade
to
is
UK.
coming up on the other side.
Yeah.
The barricade. I thought it was the Frenchman that went down the barricades, but I guess in this time around it's going to be the British.
Yeah, he's even looking to the camera. You saw that? I think he knows that he's in a Hollywood movie.
Yep. He's very much participating in a Brian Bay movie.
It's Brian Bay now.
Brian Bay, by the way. So one vehicle went down. That's the U.S. That's 4 seats prevented. I guess you can say eliminated from the rotation opportunity. And then you have Shidoni, solo player without a vehicle up there. Good luck.
Well, both bridges are heavily occupied
Yeah.
and blocked by the English forces here.
How do you do this as France?
Oh, this will be.
I mean, okay, so it's a
amazing
somewhat ineffective roadblock because it can be dodged. But sure, I mean, it still pins down the opponents to how much room they get to drive across. Because if they full on block it, then it's not going to be possible at all. But at least this time around, they get some sort of a blockade going. This will be interesting, though.
Yeah, I really like that. This proves to be a great match. I mean, we had a hilarious start, and now we really get a circle that ends on Military Island. That's for sure.
What if France just goes nope and just all die in the blue?
It's like, at least we can say it wasn't UK beating us. We're just
exactly.
We just stay. Oh, they got really unlucky.
Yeah.
They didn't win for the island, and then England had it. And now the circle also ends there.
Yep,
then
they're
the
just
red
going.
zone there.
They're going. Oh, they will never expect this. All of a sudden, all the cars are gone.
To the other bridge. Oh, this will.
I can
just
tell
wait
you,
for them to
friends,
just all rush onto the bridge. That
I can
would be
tell you,
so
friends,
amazing.
they're still over there and waiting. Oh, they are actually getting into vehicles.
Oh, please.
They are
Please stay there.
actually getting into vehicles.
No, we wanted to see that
What?
great face-off.
Is this working?
Oh, the Great British Bake Off could have turned into the Great
No, but
British
is this...
Face Off, but no.
You got to keep one guy. You got to keep
Yeah.
one guy. Turn around, boys. They're coming.
Hold the
Wow.
bridges.
If
They can stay there. But
I mean, they're 4 players. They had, what, 15 just before?
Yeah, I don't know why they moved that quickly now.
If they... Oh, look at the circle as well. Holy cow, that's far down south.
Yeah, but all of France still there. If they really hold the current blue line, I think they have the best chance.
They're only in circle 2. I mean, they're barely taking any damage. Not even 1 tick per hit, right? So they can easily tank through it. How do... Guys, come on, Britain. You have the perfect setup.
Yeah, but now they're letting the French
They're letting them
take
in.
over that part of...
Maybe they think it's
the
unfair.
island.
Are you not turning around yet, guys?
Oh, now, look at that. There's
Okay,
the
the
setup.
full commitment
There's
has
the
been set
setup.
up.
Damien is probably the first one that gets
One over.
to know that.
One over.
Yeah.
Gulak went down. Cal,
Oh, they
over.
forced them
Flappy,
around.
over.
Yeah, but they get the damage done. They force them
But
around.
they have knocked a single player. They were so
Now they
many.
did.
Their first knock comes in right there. Everyone taken down. And Cremota as well. There were so many up here. That could have been a half team annihilated at this point.
Yeah, they got the first kill, though. So Zumar gets Eranik. It's an important one. But the damage of blue is not... I mean, if
doesn't
blue
matter.
would have been a bit harder by now, then this push would have been great because they forced France to stay outside a bit longer. But for now, that wasn't really that much.
And the
right?
thing is,
Oh, look,
if they
tried to
really
rotate.
commit, yeah, exactly. If they really commit, they can rotate all the way around and actually get inside the circle. Not before, but somewhat at the same time. Because once again, I mean, England knows exactly, or the UK knows exactly where they're going to be coming in from. There's no other place they can come from. And they're trying to set up a blockade here as well.
I'm just not sure why there's a huge UK squad in a small compound waiting, not taking part. Look, Alchemist.
Yeah. They're expecting people from the east, but I mean, the guys up north must just have told them, okay, so we just saw the entire French team make that push over. Damien is still by himself, and he's getting a compound. How is this even allowed?
Yes, I don't know why they stay down there. Damien, he was actually the first one to cross the bridge. He's now all the way south. The fake there. Crispa taking out one. Yep, Ninja falls. Obviously not the Ninja everyone probably thinks about it now. The real one. The real ninja.
Sunsi Ninja.
That's a special ninja.
Exactly. Because he's super Sunsi.
Crispia also falls. Oh, look at that. That's a bunch of kills coming in for the UK. Thrones down to 23 now.
And even though they're getting that many kills, I still feel like they could have gotten so many more.
Yeah, but it's easier for us to say than for them to do.
Obviously.
So we'll see Flappy. He might get in trouble there. Akabambi. Oh, he gets hit by a Dacia right in his face. Flappy, does he manage? No.
He got so
but
far.
at least he knocked one.
Yeah. He did get himself a knock, and I think he got the finish off with him. No, actually, no. He gets his lift another day. Fortunately for him. Venico taken down as well. At least
oh,
be
blue
within
takes
moments, and
a lot
blue.
of casualties.
Wow,
yeah.
yep. Both Cal and Franco taken down by the blue. Look at them. They're all up there. They were the ones that didn't get the vehicles.
Oh, yeah, true.
They were the ones that stayed behind, and now they're taking a lot of fire from it. Schiff trying to make the run on over. He's playing with Skoom on a daily basis, but right now they are completely and utterly against one another.
Oh, he got picked up by Alchemist and his small task force already. They're shooting at him. Also, Cryo. He found a Tomshi, Microstar, and Subselective.
Yeah, this was expected to
Another
go the way
two by
of
Another
England,
two.
right? This was expected to go the way of UK from the very start when we saw that circle pop. But I mean, everything considered, they did get some kills off of it.
Yeah, 26-11. I mean, down to mathematics, this would still be possible.
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening.
No, I mean, had this compound been in for the next 6 or 7 circles in a row,
right?
then maybe. But now, no, not so much.
Waggo all the way around. Yep, they're trying to get into the circle down there. I mean, they only got Fake, Maverick Like, and T-Bone TV. That's the killer squad we're talking about. Obviously, they're 8, not just those just 3. But that is a team to look for down here with Smithy as well. They might just clean up. They might just walk along the shore now and clean up what's left of the French army.
I'm starting to think, did the British say, you know what, France, we'll give you a chance? Because honestly, what can they do if they hold those bridges, right? Like, how is it ever going to be possible?
Sorry, this is Nations Royale. I'm pretty sure that's not happening.
No, there's no.
There's no one saying, you know what? I'm happy with helping you out here. I don't think so.
A lot of damage done. Teller trying to hold the angle. Only him and Tumshi, I believe, are left in this area, but he did get down one. So Creo will be the last one up, but as you can see, Cavalry is indeed arriving. Emoji and Sam running on in, and now Subselective came in as well. So 2 players inside the hangar. What are you planning on doing here, boys?
Worked out. They're down in the hangar. Yep. And obviously with all the grenades flying in, that's not really a great place to be.
Yeah.
9-8 for France. All right. So T-Bone is looking if there's anyone still hiding at the shore. I think he had a quick look at the bag. Oh, yep. Hitting the shots immediately. 7 for the first one, but wasn't enough to knock one yet.
Trying to make the push down around, use these use this area for cover for the most way possible. Schiff taken down, he was the sole flanker from the west, and now he is no more. So I believe the only remaining players they have now actually are the people inside this company.
Yeah, the ones that are getting pushed are against the circle, basically. Damien's still alive, Vago's still alive, Nijun. Maverick actually gets knocked. All right.
Yeah.
One of the like production told me that's the killer squad to look out for.
Yeah, damage being
and
done.
yeah, he got taken out.
Damage being done up towards the British team. Fake is far down south on the little island there, a little rock formation, but he's getting spotted out there too, and he has to watch out because if he gets knocked, I don't think anyone can get down and arrest him.
Yeah, it's true. Like getting down there and pick someone up is not easy. T-Bone, he might get rushed here. Grenade coming in, and then the finishing shot might be in. Smithy picks up some for his friend here to support. Fake finally finds Artis, knocks him down. France down to 7, UK still on 25. That's probably a force that can't be overcome by the brave Frenchman here pushing in. Oh, Maverick picks up T-Bone. All right, some team play. Boom,
5
next grenade.
players alive for France, and they're trying to make the entire run on out. It's going to be such a hard one to pull off. Damien somehow still alive despite being the first guy down here. And, well, I mean, he's joined by the other 2 remaining guys in their
First guy over the bridge as well, by the way.
Exactly.
Oh, that
Team
grenade next to
captain.
Maverick. Yep, Maverick gets knocked. Smithy wants to cuddle with Damien because both are knocked anyway. France down to 3-0. That's it.
Yeah.
UK takes map number 1, so the Frenchmen have to come back on map 2.
And to go off of what you said there, Damien being the team captain for France as well, it's going to really take some courage to be the one to say, you know what, I will go over that bridge first. And he did. He succeeded in doing so, but unfortunately, in the end, it was a one bridge too far for them to really get over.
Well, probably everyone was like, you crazy if you want to go up there. And he's like, I'm team captain, I will do it. And if I can make it, you can make it as well.
Exactly.
And then he just went for it.
It's all about morale and motivating your troops to the battle.
We know how important momentum can be, but that was the start that already shows a lot. But you're right here, that was actually a kill with a motorbike.
Boink.
And that was so early. That was 2:14. 2:14 in the game. And then the small shack skirmish against Hell Hit.
This one, though.
The beautiful, look at it. Oh, they picked one up.
They were trying to rest in the blue. I mean, that is...
In the red.
Oh, in the red, yeah.
And then they all got knocked by it, and one got killed. Obviously, the guy that was knocked already. And we saw this here. The first military circle, no, the second military circle.
Yeah, because you had one before, right?
Yep. Then that floppy Dacia action. Once again, to learn if there's still a lot of grenades around, then hiding in hangar is not really a great idea.
You still gotta give Frenchmen kudos, though, because they made a seemingly impossible play when they went for that western bridge. Almost. I mean, they got over. They
managed to come over the bridge. They managed to get to the shore. They took some kills. They worked their way along that shore. I think that was good.
Yeah.
Was just, man, you got so unlucky with that circle and the setup, and obviously the previous jumps by the UK. That was just pure. I think that's pure luck. But they went for a military and had so many people there.
Obviously.
Not
a whole lot more to it.
If it's now a more neutral circle or circle that can go from French way, then I see them having a chance to tie this series up and send us to Sunark.
But if it's a southern plane, do France start sending people military just in case of the back-to-back? We'll see.
Erangel will tell us if we actually head over to Sunark or not. It's time for the French to grab a win after the break. Welcome back. GLL Nations Royale, the second matchup between France and the UK with Toby and me, G-Runner, also known as Renee, or the other way around. However you like. It's easier for you. There's only Toby. Toby. Is it Tobias?
You can say Tobias. Yeah, Tobias, yeah.
All right. I just want. I was, you know.
It's shorter. And it's even too long still. The name is Toby. Because it's 13 letters. And in most like games and stuff, you can only have a 12-letter name. So I always have to come up with weird names in games.
His Toby.
Yeah.
His name is Toby?
His name is Toby.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good work. Correct. But never mind. We got the big rivalry between France and the UK. And the first match on Erangel actually went the way of the UK.
Surprisingly
Surprisingly, with the help of a bit of circle. And 2 bridges and an island. Basically, home turf advantage.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no bridge between France and UK, but it was
there's a spiritual bridge between them.
Obviously.
And clearly it worked out in the favor of the English because they had it to their advantage, and well, it did not. We were about to give them some beef for allowing them to cross over, but they clearly had things under control.
Fine with me. They brought it back home. That's the important part for them, obviously. So we go back to Erangel once again because both teams decided that they want to play that map. And then we figure out if France, maybe with a different circle now, has a chance to return into that series and get on to Sanhok, which would make then 4 games in a row, 2 days in a row, only best of 3 until the 3rd match.
I'm starting to wonder, because they must have figured how the universe did all the British get down there so fast. Oh, some of them must have dropped military, right? So if it doesn't go military now, is that when they countered and start holding them unmilitary and prevents them from leaving?
You think the UK would drop on military again?
Like why wouldn't they? Why they did it first game without knowing where the circle would go?
They dropped heavily military.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So why wouldn't they do that again? They do have Scoomies. He tends to do some 200 IQ things sometimes, so I don't know.
Is there even a single person having 200 IQ?
He does.
All right.
You can ask him. He'll say yes. And that's true. Yep. True. So maybe he'll have something to say in regards to trying to outplay, even from the early stage.
Right. Scoom, just call me. Give me a quick call. Let me know.
200 IQ.
No, let me quickly know about your strategies, so it's easier for me to talk about it during the match.
Yeah, that's what we're bringing in, right? The commander post-match interview. That could still be so much
but it's
fun.
not post-match. It's pre-match.
Between match intel. Yeah, could work.
I could watch a stream.
Yeah, you could. With delay.
With delay, that's the issue.
And
still, he might say something to his team now.
Yes. I hope he does, because if not, then he's not really providing a whole lot of information.
So we could pick something up there.
Yeah.
You could pick something up there.
That is true.
So if you're in the chat, make sure that you also check out the individual streams of the matchups, obviously, to have point of view of some players.
And now we do have all players represented from each country on the server, so that's amazing. The UK started out fewer in numbers in the previous game, but that didn't really matter because they got the better of the circle in the end of things. France, they're all jumping out early on, so not a whole lot of new under the sun in that regard. But seems like they are sticking West Coast this time around. The previous game, they were a little further east. And UK has not sent a single person out yet.
Yeah, they're waiting for Military Island to pop up.
Yeah, they're all going down there. And this is what I'm saying, because they must, they clearly see France. They all jumped out early, right? So France sees them all going down there. Okay, not all, because a lot of them are flying towards the east side now. We can see that, but they must have sort of a let's continue. Look at the cinematic views we get here. Fancy blue outfits requires 4 fancy parachutes, and nice views. Shift. Jumping on down towards Milta.
All right, so once again they do that. What they did in map number 1, Flappy. He's the one that's kind of...
currently flapping his wings, trying to get away from there.
Trying to get around here.
Flap, 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 let me get away! Yeah, I don't know where he can get to, though, because at some point he'll have to, cross the bridge and, So
no, I don't
Flappy is. This time around they have players in the circle. They do have players inside the circle. They have Flappy.
Flappy is taking this. He's
in. This is.
Oh wow, that is crazy.
I was trying to think where the European PUBG servers are located, but they're in the Netherlands, so that doesn't really matter. I was just thinking if it was UK production, like servers, then they might have some people kind of fiddling with whatever's going on there. But sure, the circle has a very, very, very highly benefited the UK team once again.
That is true. Let's see if they can play it like that. But obviously, right now they can.
Flappy is straight up in between
Oh,
the entire
he's
team.
going over the bridge. That's true. That's kind of ballsy. But they could rotate around north and trying to come from the left. It's just if it then ends once again military.
Yeah, that would
then
be
that
awful.
wasn't great for them.
That would be awful. Does he swap for a 3-seater? No. Does he swap for a buggy? No. Does he swap for another buggy? No. Does he get shot at when he enters the city?
Yeah.
Yes. He
Fighting
lives,
it.
though. Flabby. The one that could. The one that would. The one that sent it into safety. Somehow. Well, I mean, at least for him, he can say he lived to fight the British. And, I mean, if this is the aim they're going to be pulling off when against the fighting, I do believe France can pull it into a third game. Because he should have been knocked there. No vest, no helmet, and 3 people shooting at
I mean,
him.
that is
That is not supposed to
happen.
happen. Not supposed to happen, by any means. But he did, and impressive. He somehow got out of that, and now he's driving straight up to Flex and dies. That would be double unfortunate. But
I'm just really wondering right now if France is just getting the loot and then walking all the way up, you know, school. Yes, I am. Then
they
over
could go far
Mansion.
north. Yep,
Yeah,
they could go
Mansion,
far
and then
north.
come back in.
Only thing being that from Mansion down to prison, it's a very long, very open field, which means that if they have to start crossing that with British players sitting up on the hills around prison, that's going to be a big shooting people trying to make the run in the open, and that's not really going to be a situation that they would want to be in, that's for sure.
A quick visit paid, though, to Georgia Port, at least to the harbor, basically. Quick look at the industry park there. Circle, once again, we said that already, in favor of the UK. But this time, at least right now, with some more options for France to move around and actually decide from which direction they want to attack this or take this challenge.
And I'm trying to kind of think off of the map there where the smarter place from the French team would be to rotate. Of course, not knowing the next circle. But one thing is to say, oh, this compound is so good if we go for this when we're a scrod. But you want to pick a team that you can fit, if not 32, then at least like 15 people into maybe, so you can split it 2-2, right? Because you never want to go like spread too thin. So where would France go? Because everything that's really etching the circle, sure, you can go up towards the Potato Hill, but everything around there is somewhat open.
Yeah, I mean, they probably know that the north is unoccupied.
Yeah.
Because Flappy
well,
gives
he
them
made it up
them
there, yeah,
intel,
exactly.
They-
Yeah.
he provides all that intel. They can't go into school in Rostock right now to the red zone. That's probably what they're waiting for. Or they just move around now, go up north as we said, because they now, look, there was a command, everyone jumped on the car when there was one, and they're on the move.
They could go military from the west side.
Yeah, but they're not doing that.
No, I see they don't. They say they could.
They
could do
fear
that.
that it doesn't end on military.
Yeah,
and then
true.
they're all on that island.
But then they can all just go back the same way they came, though.
No.
That
but
wouldn't cost them anything. No, but it's still inside now.
It is inside now, yes.
Oh, but once the next one hits. But it's only circle one. It's not going to be. It's not going to do enough
but
damage
still,
for them
do you
to really
want to
worry
take that
about
risk and then coming out
it.
of blue and
Yeah,
get shot
true,
immediately?
true. It's gonna be a risky play for sure. But you gotta risk it sometimes in order to really get yourself into a better spot. Micro is like, I don't care about red zones. I'll just drive around in it. But no, he does go back into cover. Smart Teller, he got knocked in the previous game by the red zone, so he's probably saying to himself that he will go out on the balcony and look around. Because why does that happen twice? You never get hit by lightning twice, right?
Yeah, true.
Or something like that.
True.
In before Teller in the in the kill feed, getting knocked by the red zone again.
That red zone. Obviously, we're playing red zones here. Because Nations Royale, it's not the same rules as hardcore competitive PUBG. It is competitive, but in a different way, and obviously more along lines of pride and bragging rights here.
It is the objective sort of third-party engager is the red zone.
Yes.
Sometimes it might not seem that objective when France was trying to cross that bridge and they just get it straight on top of them. But now, as you can see, the UK, they got the circle, so thus they should also get themselves a bit of a red zone towards them. And look at the bridge camp again. They're setting it up in case. Maybe this is like the patrol. They're just having the toll down here. Passport, like security entrance.
They practicing for Brexit.
Yeah.
When they need to start to
Oh,
check all
that's
the
what's
EU
going
guys
on.
again.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing here.
I mean, we're already getting checked now when we're going to the airport. to go to.
Oh,
UK.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
true.
so
UK
they're
is the
just
only one, yeah.
improving passport security. I like to see it.
Yep. I mean, they become quicker, maybe.
Yeah, and off of Flappy's great intel, he actually could tell his teammates that, well, there ain't no one up here, and that's going to be the push for the entire team. So making the best of a bad situation is going to allow for them to go up, and as our very, very, very talented observers are telling us, they actually have a chance to make their way far down east towards Milton Power, because it seems like the entirety of the...
far.
Exactly, because all the British are kind of putting their eggs on going up just wedge of shelter to get that high ground position and spot them, but they're already moving around.
If they really get that far as Power, and they get a proper spread,
Yeah.
that can hold the angle for at least a while, they could create a great entry point.
They're on the wrong side of the mountain now. This could again be the case of the British allowing for the French to take control of the map. But last game sure didn't matter too much because they were still military and completely pinned. But this time around, they might actually be able to pull something off of it.
Or they just giving it away because they think they can handle it anyway.
I mean, an option too, we don't know. We don't know.
It doesn't need to be like, oh, we gave that away because we don't care. It could be, no, we want them to go a specific route. If we open that
you get
route,
to decide the battlefield.
Yeah, they will follow.
Yeah, that is true. Whether it was on purpose or not, we will not. And no one here is your killing squad that we talked about just before. The Brits have made their way on up, and they're trying to see if they can figure out where exactly all the Frenchmen are coming from.
No, north. Who's that close? The French. There's something going on. Facts.
Oh,
Facts.
Oh, he was the guy that was in the shelter earlier, but now he's kind of been pinned down inside this one compound. He did get down Ness, and one more actually, but there are still two more players to be dealt with.
Oh, did he really knock the others as well?
He knocked two. He knocked Shidoni and Ness, but Ferrix and Wago, they're sitting out there.
Wago picked him up, so he needs to be aware because he got his back to them, which is kind of. But he's still up
went
top
southeast. The circle went down southeast. And this, France, is when you start full-on sending it around the side.
Yeah.
You have not been shot at yet.
You know what? They're missing the Turkish team reaction right now.
Yeah.
Put everyone back in the car.
Go. They are.
Due to Milton Power.
Damien.
Yeah, go down there. Go down there.
In-game leader, commander of your team, sent them. Fex all by himself. Oh, he tried so hard, but in the end, it did not really matter because he did go down.
Yep, that's unfortunate, but at least he's kept
buying
them
his team
occupied.
some time.
Yeah, he
exactly.
kept them occupied for a while. Still alive, so he can give some intel, but now he will be flushed off. Yeah, I mean, that was an easy one. Not really that hard.
He knocked a lot of different players, though, meaning that the info clearly came across that there were X amount of players up there, and that, I mean, sure, 4 players might not be the biggest difference, but when it comes down to a full-on firefight, having 4 guys extra, that could turn out to be the difference maker.
That is true. We saw that in the close matchup between Turkey and Hungary.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we were even at 8-8.
We were 8-8 exactly.
Yeah,
to begin.
that was a crazy finish.
Yeah.
And now with the French being underway here to Milton Power, that might be the power shift that they need to take this match off the hands of the UK.
Gotta say too, it's clearly Damien who is not only the captain, but also the first runner here. I mean, he is the little man on the big white horse, just running on forward, securing a lot of land for his teammates.
Yeah. Oh, look, Fargo is still back.
I
wonder if Ness and Ferrix may be thinking about holding prison or going for a thing, but that might be a big front line now. Because France will find themselves in a huge fight.
Yeah.
As Flappy enters Milton Power, but there is the UK already waiting for them.
This could be a game done earlier, at least a lot of people down early, because they seemingly have full-on committed to Milton Power, and it seems to me like the UK, they ain't giving it up that easy.
No, definitely not. Still 31-31, so nothing happened. That's the killer squad once again. We saw on the screen, beautiful grenade that might hit someone.
Whoa, that could have been.
Wow.
Yeah, that would have been impressive.
I think Hellhit was actually hit. He's down.
Yeah, he went down low.
Yeah.
Question here is going to be, first of all, for the UK, how do you position yourself? And I was going to say, do they flank around the south? And they actually are trying to do it, but you can see 60 is anticipating it. He's sitting down here, wants to hold that edge of the broken wall, but if he looks up now, well, there's going to be a lot of people to spot, that's for sure.
Yeah, I like, though, that they're trying to spot, but obviously they're all working around that wall there now. which makes it easy for UK to predict where they are.
If UK sends people further down south, they have a hillside where they can just see that entire side of them in the open. That would be benefiting them. But I actually think that's what the French are doing to prevent them from getting that vision. So clearly, a fight by a wall happening right now between the British and the French. And they're like, we don't need to wait that long. We don't need to rotate that much. We'll just take it to their face right here.
Side for Sam. He's trying to place down some damage. Rafi falls to a grenade. Sam also gets knocked by Sunji Ninja. Seems like the UK is struggling right now. Leave. Revenge immediately onto Ninja. Fargo also falls. Rafi is the first one to die. And now it's gone back and forth. That's a trade in kills. But Maverick Life also got knocked by Shiv. That's an important one, maybe. 29-30.
Yeah, there's a lot of knocks coming in. Nate is going down to the corner. Fango will go down. Not a whole lot more to it. Scoom securing himself the kill right there. And, well, I mean, as you can see, there's still a lot of people out west for the British team that ain't really tapping in on this one. Probably expecting there to be more French players somewhere else that they have to be worried about. They cannot just all commit inside. But we can tell them right now that I'm pretty sure the entirety of the French team is on this wall.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. I don't think there's anyone else left. 29-29. So it is evened out once again
They are leaving
in this
now,
big
though.
matchup.
They
and
are
they've got the
driving
cars
off.
parked there as well, so they can actually move. But
They're
as soon as
bailing,
they
they're
move
bailing.
out, oh yeah, oh, they
Is it a
moved some
circle?
people
Is it
over
the
there.
circle that shifted down south, maybe? Nope, it's still there. Still there, it's closing on in. So they're deciding to fight on two fronts instead. Figured we had the idea, we pushed, it didn't work. Let's disengage this one
But
and
wait,
live to fight another day.
They got a team south. They keep the guys busy at the wall, and they also got a team
Yeah.
northwest. You saw it on the map.
Oh yeah,
look.
they have a sneaky little bunch of
Yeah.
four up there. And we talked about that, how in the Denmark-Sweden fight, just 5 players flanking turned out to be a huge difference maker, right? Here, maybe only 4, but still be, if they can land the shots needed and live long enough to see the fights coming in, that could be very, very, very much a difference maker. Crispia took the man with the flag. Damien, the captain, has been eliminated. Had this been for Tico, the game would have been over, but it isn't, so we'll keep on fighting.
Yeah, 28-27. We obviously keep on fighting. Dix also falls. HKRX. Seems like the UK guys are currently not under control of the whole fight. Got like Marshall also falls. He gets killed immediately though, 28-25. So UK is still leading. But with these multiple frontline setups now, France might be able to actually turn this.
Could be. Could be. They have a chance. They have not overcommitted to one area the same way that we see the British. I mean, not overcommitted, but they're pretty much all in or around the multi-power area. The benefit of it is that you have the broken wall all around, but that also makes it very hard for you to leave the area if you should have to. So we see a few British players have made their way down southwest. But whether that's going to help them out here as the circle comes popping in just a short moment or not, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
T-Bone goes cleaning duty.
Yep.
It's Adrian. Nasra also gets knocked on the other side. Shifts some long-range shots onto that small ridge line over there. Still the UK leading, so France needs to put a bit of work in it right now.
Went in the favor of France, and we talk about how, at least for the most part, the defending teams tend to have an upper hand. The French-Hungarian fight, I mean, it was pretty much the polar opposite, but that normally has been the case. And once again, France see themselves on the wrong side of the circle.
Yeah, now they're all down south. They kind of lost this.
They can rotate further south, I think. They should be able to, right?
Yeah, but the only thing I'm afraid of that they lost here is basically this advantage of having multiple angles onto the UK forces. Because now everyone is south, and if UK is seeing this movement right now, they could just try to push down to the end of the circle, build a new defensive line, and try to keep them out as long as possible.
The good thing is that we see right there, there's the team that was the scouts. They came in and they didn't really take any fire, so they know things are clear. And 60 is all by himself, trying to hold off the push. He got down the first. Hittrick is trying to make the run on him, but now shots are coming in towards 60 as well. He has to make this run on off 6 HP and not a whole lot more to work with. Thus, get himself 1 kill, but it's going to be a hard play for him because they must realize at this point there's only one guy here.
Well, beautifully played. I mean,
very
jumping
much
down there, getting another knock, going up, maybe even being able to mat up before France moves up. 60, he gets not the next one, I want to say that. Yep, but France is taking him out. Still, though, he managed to get a bit of intel, stall the enemy forces a bit. So it will be interesting if that helped in the end. Nasra, he will move in now with Scoom. They try to get control of this compound now where they know Frenchmen are definitely in there.
Yeah, and they also have the chance to push across the road and take control of the high ground position on the other side. That would help them so much because the French are pretty much pinned down to 2 or 3 compounds. If they can get the high ground, they can look into those windows on the second floor as well, and that's going to be very make it hard for the Frenchmen to really have any spot, pretty anywhere where they won't be visible to some players.
Let's see, Microstar falls on the UK side, 27-21, so there's a slight difference. Now Ness turns around and finds Nusra for a quick kill. Might even get another one. Scoom goes down as well. That was beautifully played by Ness. Really quick on the trigger, and now more UK forces need to help out here.
They're pushing on in. They just lost the whole fighting squad they had inside, and now they got so many players pinned down behind this shack. One perfectly thrown nade could become the difference maker in this. Players are going down on either side, and we're just waiting for one nade to come in and potentially take out 5 players.
Yeah, that nade is still missing though. I'm just afraid like how this small compound turned into the main battleground after they started the fight in there. Nest now gets dropped at least, but Reaper Steve, he gets killed, Evernick as well. So they're losing even more forces while trying to take this very small compound.
Well, I mean, it is in the somewhat center of the circle, so from that aspect of things, it makes sense. But as true to what you're saying, they did not spread out that much. The French have tried to make their way over north. Nogi is sitting up there alongside a few other players. Schiff is up there too, trying to see if they can put down some suppressive fire. But look at the British down here. They're so compacted into one area. Imagine a red zone landing in this compound right now. I mean, it would be absolute chaos more than it is already.
Oh yeah, we don't want to overdo that here. Red zone would totally put this on top. There's the grenade we were waiting for, but it bounced off again. Still
it did knock 2 teammates. Knocked 2 teammates.
Chomsky as well. So
and even more!
Successful. Another one following, bringing the kills in, and I think that were team kills. Yep,
Repulse.
There have been team kills. They were not hitting those windows.
Repulse and DP just knocked 8 British players.
Yep. They're not using Windows, they're using Linux. That's why they didn't get the grenades through there.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Wow. Nasty picks up even more. Nest goes hard now. I think he is the highlight player in this compound for sure. Microstar tries to do anything and finally finds Nest, kills him. So the man in the house finally falls. Kanya as well, so it's gone back and forth. France down to 12, UK still on 9.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one for the French team because they had the higher ground, but as you can see, your kill squad made their way over around the side and making it even harder for the French team to really hold anything up here. They have the high ground advantage now as well, and I think they got the last remaining players pinned down to pretty much their exact spots.
It's now about just cleaning up Microstar. Yep, that was going through the window. He saw the second one, but he still gets knocked. No chance for him to react that fast because he basically emptied his magazine on Hidrik and was too late to react to Calvin. Telekan, he tries to support his teammate though. Some shots through the smoke, but I think none of them connected actually.
Calvin still somehow alive and kicking. Got himself off some meds. Trying to stay put, but 6 guys up against the force of 19.
Oh, and T-Bone, look at that flank.
Sneaky peeky pushing around.
He will probably get all 6 right in front of his crosshair soon. Not all 6, because some of them are a bit further behind.
A bit further southeast, yeah, exactly. Yep. Sergeant did get spotted, though, that's for sure.
There goes one, I thought. Nope, not gonna happen. But then Yurizan follows. Dix finds Smithy. Yeah, that's a teammate.
He was shooting. I shoot people that shoot.
Yeah, I saw someone shooting at someone. I quickly helped out. Yeah. Might be the wrong one though, but the last men of the French army fall 19-4. Yeah. So this seems like we will not go into a third map.
No, Hendrik is alone up here, and you have Fischke and Nathan far down south. Now the last 2 remaining players, and they have to pull off something close. I mean, normally we talk about a 1v4 being impossible, but a 2v19.
Man, if that happens, if that ever happens on one of these nations for all things, I will donate something to that player.
0v19? No, not gonna
but not gonna happen. UK annihilates France. That means France is actually out of the European GLL Nations Royale. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to our neighbors. I'm from Germany, so the French are my neighbors. I got a beautiful train connection right from Cologne to Paris. But that won't help here.
Not at all. Well played. Sure, the Brits might have gotten a few circles in their favor, some could argue, but they really, I mean, the French team really made the most of it. Damien, he led it very well over the bridge that one time, and also just all the way over the side in the yellow play. Extremely well played, and sure did everything they could with a horrible situation.
I still like the rotation that we saw. I mean, here at the wall, I think Frost played well. It was not a favorable position at all. Still, they managed to get away from it. Still, they managed to keep it kind of even. And they took the battlefield to another part of the map where it was a bit easier for them.
Also, I mean, honestly, to me, despite the fact that things didn't work their way, they still really made it work, first of all. And despite them being in a horrible situation, it seemed like everyone knew what to do. I mean, communication was there, clearly.
Yeah, it was a pretty tight matchup. Actually, it's kind of sad losing France here because besides not having favorable circles, they did good rotation. They had good connection, obviously. Yeah, I mean, the UK tried to help the Frenchmen. There were probably some like, I got relatives in France.
Yeah.
Let me help.
What happened was, I think it was Repulse. He threw one nade. One guy threw, Emoji threw one nade in. He knocked Repulse that was in the middle of throwing a nade. So he dropped his nade, knocked another guy that was also in the middle of throwing. It was like a chain reaction of unfortunate nades.
And we know how that works.
Yeah.
Someone drops it, like in this 32 vs 32, someone gets the nade out, throws it, and just people see something popping up. Then immediately everyone gets the grenade out and throws it down there because they think there's something to get, right? Kills. Sometimes it's killing teammates. That's part of it. But that means for today, we're done with the European side of the GLL Nations Royale, so don't worry. We're coming back exactly at 11 p.m. CET with the South American. Went for Asia for whatever reason. South America Nations Royale, we cover all of them. No, but we'll see South America, and actually we'll see the matchup between Brazil and Argentina. So make sure that you're well rested and you got new drinks, new snacks, everything ready for 11 p.m. See you there.